you a little bit about the home team.
Coming straight from Houston, Texas, with the best of the best. No, we had to go and flex us. Say that with my chest, cause we're the World Series champs. Twice in 5 years, you can never compare. And if I know one thing, it's that we got it all locked. So let me tell you why Houston rocks. Houston rocks.
No one does it better, baby.
Here we are, Federal Grill, my buddy Matt Brice. How you doing, bud?
Man, I'm doing amazing. Life is so good. How are you?
I am doing really well, man. I gotta ask, 6 restaurants now, 1 in Arizona. Let's talk about what it takes to get to that spot.
Piece of cake. It was easy. It was like overnight. No, I'm kidding. It took a lot. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You know, it's from dishwashing all the way up. You know, it started hard. It was 2 years. The first 2 years of our Federal Grill, we weren't making any money. It was really, really humbling. And, you know, I thought going in, hard work, people are going to come in, they're going to accept us, and it wasn't as easy as it sounded. There were weeks where we almost didn't make payroll, and we had to pawn a watch that I had that was $500, and I would call my wife and say, hey, listen, can you just hold payroll just for an hour? I got to figure this out. Like, it was rough. But we figured things out, you know, luckily, and we listened to all of our regulars. We went to them saying, hey, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And we really listened, and we changed up the menu and all this other stuff. So it was pretty cool to see what happened afterwards, and just listening and adapting to your environment and to the people, what they wanted, not what we wanted, right? So that was huge. And so that brought us from 1 restaurant to then became successful over the course of 10 years now. This is our 10-year anniversary we just had, so it was awesome. And then decided to go to the 2nd restaurant after the 7th year, and that was only 3 years ago. So now, you're talking 6 restaurants, it just kind of exploded from there, and that's because of our team. Because of the fact of hiring the right people to get us to the next level, and really our team is what it's all about. I mean, obviously I can't do this alone. This is with the help of so many awesome people, from a COO, CFO, marketing, HR. I mean, before it was just myself, my wife, and maybe one other person, and now we have this huge team. So it's really helped our growth amazingly so by just doing one day at a time and hiring another person every single time it was the right time.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the success is just, it's humbling, and at the same time, you know, I worry every single day. I never let my guard down because, you know what, it could be all gone tomorrow. So you got to keep going forward each and every single day. We're always holding meetings about what's next, what can we do better, what can we add on, what values. You know, we live by our core values, which is huge. And one of them is empathy. And one reason why we got to where we are now is because of how much I know we care about people and how we care about not just the guests, but actually our staff. And so we always like to know as much as we can about them. And that's part of the big part of the success, though, is because we're hiring all the people that actually care about people, right? And in a lot of environments, you're not seeing that. They just worry about the numbers. Give me the bottom line, right? Give me the bottom line drivers. That's only going to last for so long. So if you really focus your top line, and that is your people, the guests come second. Sorry, everybody, I love you. We need you to come in, but really it's our employees that come first. And I know if we treat each other like a family, you know, it's really huge when you're hiring somebody and you say, okay, before you come on, where do you live? How far do you live? How many kids do you have? What do you like to do outside of the restaurant? How much money do you need to make? Because if somebody comes in and says, oh yeah, I need to make $6,000 a week, hey, could you do it? Maybe, but not on a regular basis. Okay, let's be honest here. So if you can find out as much as you can about somebody, especially on the onboard, it's like dating, right? You know, like putting it out there, like what do you want? What do you like to do? And all this other stuff. And if you do that right, then you're gonna see the longevity. And not only that, it's the follow-up afterwards. And this is all people business. So hire you on, you say you need to make $2,000 a week, right? Okay, we hired you, we think you can do that here, and we have all these other wants and needs. I want Mondays off and blah, blah, blah. Down the road, I'm watching you. We have about 400 employees, right? So it's tough, but at the same time, in this house, if I say, how would it feel if I were watching your paycheck and watching your schedule out of all 400 people, and I gave you a call about 6 weeks in, and I noticed that you were making about $1,600 and not $2,000, and I picked up the phone before you did, and I said, hey, I noticed you're not making the $2,000 that you were doing. How are you doing? Right? So just those little pieces right there, I would just take you to the next level. And I do believe that our managers and leaders in our restaurants are doing that.
It does show you got a great staff here, no question.
Thank you very much. I mean, we can always be better, right? We can always be better. That's what we're striving to be every single day, every single week. Our meetings that we have all the time, you know, so, and meetings, you know, a lot of them are useless, but not when we're talking about people. Meetings are tough, right? So it's like, come on, enough meetings. But when it comes to meetings about people, that's where the driver is.
So Houston loves this place. You have a new location in downtown, correct?
Yeah, it's coming in January.
Hasn't opened yet.
No.
And so we're awaiting that one. And you've made the spotlight a few times as well. People have been talking about this place. So you said you've had really big parties here. What are some of those?
Some of the parties, oh, the Kentucky Derby. That's a big one. Everybody loves the Derby party. Everybody gets dressed up to the nines, the colors. We have best hat, best dressed couple, woman, hat. Man, it's so much fun. We're sponsored by Woodford. That's who sponsors the Kentucky Derby as well. Yeah, we're all over the place here. We do like these ice shot luges. That's a horse's mane, and you're taking a shot. It's so cool. It's so beautiful. And then, you know, live bands. So it really adds a lot of action here at Federal.
So whiskey and bourbon, they're both really big here. Did that come first, or did the Derby parties come first?
Oh man, honestly,
chicken or the egg here?
I think they came at the same time.
Okay.
But the whiskey came first.
Awesome.
The whiskey came first for sure.
So why whiskey?
I love it. You know, at the time, 10 years ago, you didn't see many places doing this. Now you do. You see more and more whiskey bars popping up, but 10 years ago, there wasn't in Houston. There might have been one or two. And I love whiskey. And so it's an art, you know, and they're all different tastes. It's like wine, you know, every bottle of wine and every varietal is a little different. Whiskey's the same way. And whiskey's this huge umbrella that's so much fun and interesting because underneath whiskey, you have Canadian, you know, you got American, you have bourbon and all these other things. So there's a lot of little unique tastes.
So Matt, I gotta ask, what is your favorite dish here at Federal Grill?
Oh, Janice's meatloaf. It's my mom's recipe. She used to make it for me every single week. So it was my brother, my father, and myself, and my mom would make one of our meals every single week, one night a week, and mine was meatloaf, and she'd make that. So I added that onto the menu. She wasn't too happy when I added the Fresno peppers into it, though, because I said, Mom, we're in the South, all right? I took your recipe, but just spiced it up a little bit. So this is her recipe. The meatloaf's amazing. The cheeseburger egg rolls will just knock you out of this park. I mean, it's just amazing.
So we're gonna get to try the meatloaf later on in the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Not leaving here without that.
Awesome.
Yeah, but other than that, you know, we have a bunch of other dishes that are just, you know, comfort, traditional American, all fresh seafood is amazing. So we order that almost every single day.
And there's one in particular item on your appetizers menu that always catches my eye, and it doesn't belong there.
Come on, why not? And it says it underneath, why not? Question
not?
mark. Is our gooey, warm, half-baked chocolate chip cookie.
I think it's fire.
Dude, it's so good. So my wife will always order that. If you see her here, she's ordering the cookie first. And then
Why
why
wait
not?
till the end?
Why
Why wait
not?
till the end?
So I always ask her, I'm like, how do you stay so skinny? But that's her favorite thing to eat, so that's why I put it on there. It's for her.
Mama's Meatloaf, here we are behind the kitchen with some of the freshest ingredients that you have, but the star of the show for the meatloaf, it's got to be the meat. So what's in the bowl?
Yeah, we have a Akiushi meat from 99 Ranch. Awesome ranch
Local?
Oh yeah, this stuff's amazing. It has a lot more fat in it, so it adds that flavor to it, right? So that is gonna go in first.
Got you, right?
Absolutely. So this is how we make the meatloaf. Put it in the pan, but then we have all these additions. So what you guys have over there, if you want to start, we have the green bell peppers.
Awesome, I got this.
Toss it in. All right. You need a binder with meatloaf, right? So you have the breadcrumbs right there.
All right, I'm going with these.
You got it. Throw it all in there. All right. Fresno peppers. Here's where the kick comes in. That's the hot stuff right there. So
Yeah.
All right, hot
I
stuff.
got the kick. Hot stuff here.
brown sugar for flavor.
You're a little sweeter than I am.
Oh, that's great.
Very
I
nice.
love that.
All right. Then we have the onion for more flavor, right?
The onion. I'm saving myself for this. You can go for the onion now, Steven. I'm going to be looking at this one.
All right, onions, we go. Ready?
And then
So this is not just normal salt. I'm looking at the details in here. What is it?
there are about 16 different flavors in there, and that is our personal seasoning at Federal Grill, which we're going to be selling soon. So we're in
wow.
the process of labeling it now. So it's really
Say, I'm a sucker for a good seasoning that you can just put on quite literally anything, whether it's avocado toast, eggs, in the morning, it's meatloaf. But if you're selling that, I'm on it.
that's that. You can use it for chicken, pork, fish. It doesn't matter. That's why it's so
Wow.
user friendly. And lastly, Well, not lastly, but we have
Big bowl of Heinz.
big bowl of Heinz.
There we
And
go.
we're gonna leave that. And then we got a couple of eggs that we're gonna crack open like that. Like that. So you're gonna do 3 eggs, all right? Boom. Okay, and lastly, third. There we go.
Like a pro.
So then what you do is you mix it all together, which we're not gonna do in this process, but it comes out just like this. So it comes out in meat loaf. So it's one long loaf, and then we cut it into cubes, which I'm gonna show you how we cook it next. So first off, you can't cook anything without butter. So you gotta throw some butter down, some love and flavor right there. Then, before you put it on, you do a little seasoning right here. You put it flat down on top of the butter, a little more seasoning on top. You're gonna do the same with this piece as well. Get a lot of flavor in there, and put it down. This is gonna cook for about 2 minutes on each side. And then what we do is we put it into the oven. And I'm going to show you the finished product right here. And that is how it looks. Beautiful. You see how it's covered, nice and crusted on top, cooked all the way through and sizzled. And we're going to show you a final product right after that. And that's it. It's a simple, easy product, and it's delicious.
So Matt, signature drink, smoking gun. Let's hear about it.
It's an absolute fan favorite. So it's one of our top sellers everybody comes here for. It's called the Smoking Gun Old Fashioned. So what it consists of is Old Forester, a little bit of that. That's the lovin' we have right here. Usually 2 ounces. We'll go a little bit more on this one.
Nice.
Then you have traditional simple syrup. We don't want it too sweet, so we'll just do a little dash of that right there. Then, of course, your Agostona bitters. Really delicious. Just a couple of dashes there is enough. Add some ice. Here we go. Give it a little bit of a twirl, like so. Try to speed up the process here. Pour it into your trusty glass. Then what we're going to do is put it in this magic box. The magic box. We put it in here, and this is where the real magic starts. Is turn this little gadget on. I don't think you can see it back here, but this is a smoking gun gadget. Light it up here. We got some nice cherry wood. It's going to smell like a campfire, like when you're a kid.
Nice.
It's so awesome. It just keeps going. We're going to just let this keep riding for a little bit here. And then what you do is you let it sit there for as long as you want. Let it simmer. It's going to get all that flavor and taste. Plus you got this beautifulness in there as well.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready, you just open up that box right in the front, and you'll see all the smoke come out. And it just smells amazing.
Nice.
And it gives it
smell it.
this unique taste to your drink. It's just so
Wow,
amazing.
look at that.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
I want a
this.
candle that smells
Isn't it
like
amazing?
smoking gun. You should brand that for a candle.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
Amazing. All right, so
Here we are.
it's ready like this, correct?
That's right. Good to go. We usually add a little
So good.
here, little cherry on top.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, this was such a great time, Matt. Thank you so much for everything. You have a beautiful place here.
Thank you very
much. And cheers to Houston Rocks.
Cheers
right?
to you guys.
Another reason that Houston rocks.
Cheers.
We ain't